trillions will flow through cryptos like Stellar XLM, and Zioncoins will benefit. How am I deriving at that? How am I getting to this conclusion? Well, before I delve into all of that, please like, subscribe. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I can keep delivering more and more content like this to you more frequently. Now, with that aside, we need to talk about the fundamental facts of the matter. Macro cycle is key. When we look at the macro cycle, we look at when Bitcoin moves up and moves down. If Bitcoin's moving, all coins are moving. Okay, all coins in the top 100 are going to rise when the tide rises. Yeah, they're going to drop when the tide drops. The macro cycle. What is affecting this cycle? What have we got in store for 2023? Well, I want to talk about that. I know in the previous video I said we're going to be covering kelp AMM more frequently. We will be. At the moment, I'm just having some Docker issues on all of my machines for some reason. I don't know why, but as soon as I've resolved those issues and had enough time to go through all of those problems, a long list of them, I don't know why, then I can spin up kelp properly on the CLI, so I got access to all the exchange data from CCXT, and then we can really give the bot a good run through and make some markets. But getting back to what is in store for this year, clearly we're seeing some bullish momentum for cryptos right now, for gold, precious metals, silver. And I believe commodities aren't doing too bad. Other commodities like oil, I understand that natural gas has fallen quite heavily, quite sharply. Is there any wonder? Again, you know, you've got to look at whether that is an opportunity. That aside, delving into what's in store, we have Morgan Stanley that believe there is some serious volatility ahead, and potentially another recession is looming. And this could be true. What you have to understand is, whilst the Fed have curbed the base rates with an increase of 25 basis points as opposed to 50 or 75, that means they're slowing down the rate at which interest rates increase. So this is quite bullish for the markets. Not only is that happening, but you've also got the Dixie, the dollar, the reserve, the international reserve currency for the world. The dollar is falling in value, and again, that's massively bullish for the stock markets. And if it's bullish for markets like the Dow Jones, it's bullish for Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. But what does this mean? Well, Morgan Stanley is saying, you know, we're going to come to a recession. Yes, it's inevitable at some point or another, but when? Okay, when? All right. Now, looking at CPI data, if you haven't done so, if you've seen my previous videos, check out my previous videos. You'll be able to check the data yourself. You can see that there is some reaction to what the Fed is doing. Okay, so the CPI data basically suggests that inflation is curbing, and with the reduction in interest rates, it seems like that may be having an effect momentarily. I understand that it can't have any major long-term effect. Okay, it might have a slight movement. So obviously consumers are going to want to consume less because rates are so high with everything. To borrow money costs more, and when you're getting less and less for your dollar because of the printing of the dollar, it's worth less. So you get less, increases inflation. Now, where are we going with cryptos like Stellar XLM? How are these trillions going to flow? We could be at the point of an altcoin bull run. It's been said by many analysts that actually we're in what's called the spring phase. And what that means is you could see it like spring as the weather, or spring as in boing, spring, about to boing, blast off. We're in the spring phase. Now, that suggests that next season is going to be summer. Things are going to heat up. And next season is quarter 2. So, in theory, quarter 2, we should be seeing an immense bull run. Question is, are we going to see new all-time highs for Bitcoin? Well, some analysts out there are claiming that it's a retrace. We're going to retrace and drop back down. And that would make sense, because if you have big banks like Morgan Stanley suggesting that we're going to see a recession, that, you know, because CPI will drop, that will increase, that will inevitably cause a recession. You've got big tech firms letting go 20%, up to 20% of their staff. These are all massive indicators that, yes, a recession is looming, right? Whilst the Fed are pivoting, they're reacting to this by not increasing the base rate so much as to get this sort of stagflation effect. But inevitably, we could be coming to this recession point. Before that, I believe in quarter 2, quarter 3, we could be seeing a major bull run for altcoins, an alt season. This is where there is potentially going to be new all-time highs for certain altcoins, possibly Stellar XLM. This is where we may see a settlement for the Ripple case, which is a big deal, because actually Ripple are pretty much the only cryptocurrency that may get regulatory clarity, whether it's a security or not in the US. It should be, hopefully, clear in the eyes of the law. And with that, one way or the other, big banks, institutions can continue to resume and feel comfortable about where XRP lies, whether they want to use the asset or not for their liquidity, for their cross-border transactions. And the same really applies to Stellar. The clarity may or may not be there for Stellar because it hasn't gone to court, but I feel you can rest assured that because Stellar's an institution, it's a foundation, I beg your pardon, a charitable foundation, I don't think the same rules apply. That's just my opinion, I could be wrong, okay? So I don't feel that XLM could be perceived as being a security. It can be used as security by other companies, but not through Stellar, the foundation. With that aside, Michael Burry, the big short guy himself, also believes that we have this recession looming And because of this recession looming, it's likely that things are going to sell off hard. And he's actually suggested to get out the market straight away with his tweets, with his Twitter profile, Cassandra. And yes, I follow Burry. And for me, if you've seen The Big Short, you could see actually how stressful that call was for him to make, because of the data was right. Yes, in theory, it should have imploded straight away, as of when he thought, but it didn't, because you have humans involved, and you've got rating agencies that are run by humans. It means that things don't always pan out as they should do when you have the correct data. So bearing that in mind, you have to understand time, and time is relative to how humans react. So this is why Burry was eventually right, but took a massive hit before. And I believe that's where he is currently now. That's just the way he trades. And that's fine, because eventually he'll be right. But right now, I think it's risk on in the markets. Risk on for stocks, risk on for commodities, risk on for cryptos. Equities, not my bag. So I'm not going to suggest anything there. But I believe certainly that we're looking at a recession end of the year. You've got Morgan Stanley talking about this. You've got Burry, who's the Big Short guy, Michael Burry, who's been calling this. There's many other institutes that have suggested that potentially there could be some major volatility. If you've seen my previous video on Warren Buffett, you'll understand that I found quite a large number of his stocks that were acting very volatile, which suggests to me something's at play. So it's happening. We're close to that full Fibonacci retracement for the Dow Jones. We're up there. We might hit the top. If we do, maybe it's time to sell and get out, because a massive recession or depression could be looming. But I believe that this summer should be recession free. Let me know your thoughts. Put me straight. These are my thoughts, my opinions. Smash the like, subscribe. I'm Nathan of Zion. Smash the Zion coin up there, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Take care now.